Tower Records, perhaps not a name that resonates with today's kids, but years ago, it was a heartthrob for music lovers. But how did this once thriving vibe go bankrupt? Come, let's explore the downfall of Tower Records, trapped in the past in today's business tale. Chapter 1: The Early Days. Picture yourself in the late 1950s when music wasn't just a click away. You had to get up, go out, and dive into rows of vinyl to find your jam. This is where Russ Solomon's story begins. From a corner in his dad's Sacramento drugstore, Russ, with a passion for music, started Tower Records. His knack for finding the perfect record made his store a local haunt for music lovers. It wasn't just about buying records. It was about the experience and the community. Chapter 2: Growth and Expansion. As word spread, Tower Records quickly evolved from a small record mart into a music retail giant. Russ Solomon's creation flourished, with new stores popping up in San Francisco and Los Angeles, cultural hubs where music thrived. Tower Records became a city staple, with bright yellow bags and red signs guiding music lovers like beacons. Their listening stations were revolutionary, allowing customers to sample tracks before buying, something extraordinary at the time. Each visit felt like a special event, a weekly highlight. Tower Records didn't stop at US borders. It boldly expanded into Japan, a land known for innovation. The Japanese stores sold more than records. They offered a slice of Americana that was appealing and coveted. These stores were not just retail spaces, but cultural exchanges, showcasing the power and allure of music across continents. Chapter 3: The Digital Revolution and Missed Opportunities. Then the world began to change. The beat started to skip, and the digital revolution began. Tower Records dipped its toes into the virtual waters, launching the first online music store on AOL, and later establishing Tower.com. They were pioneers, leading the charge into a new digital dawn. But here's the plot twist. The digital wave was more of a tsunami, and Tower Records didn't quite catch it right. Tower Records underestimated the power of digital music, treating it like a passing fad. They didn't invest enough in this digital-first music world. As Tower Records put pennies into the digital jar, big box outlets and digital platforms began to play a different tune, one that Tower Records couldn't groove to. The competition started to rise, and the market began to tune out the old record shop vibe in favor of the new digital sound. Chapter 4: The Downfall. Now, let's flip the record and talk about the B-side of the Tower Records story, the part with the scratches and skips. Their aggressive international expansion, financed by debt, meant the IOUs started stacking up. They went big, but couldn't sustain it. Like cranking the volume with no dough for electricity, their lights dimmed. Competition flipped the script, and price-fixing scandals hit hard. Then, the digital tsunami struck with music platforms and internet piracy, wrecking their sales. People downloaded tunes for free, and Tower Records couldn't keep up. The market was tuning out, leaving Tower Records struggling to match the new digital set list. Chapter 5: The Final Track. And it led the beautiful song to its final track. Tower Records hit a wall with bankruptcy spray-painted all over it. They filed the papers admitting the funds were drained, and it was time to call it a night. The liquidation process was like the ultimate garage sale. With neon "Everything Must Go" signs everywhere. The hallowed halls of rock and roll got their final curtain call as Tower Records stores across the US closed their doors. Chapter 6: Echoes of the Past. Tower Records' downfall was a classic tale of failing to adapt. They clung to CDs while the world moved to digital, and heavy borrowing for aggressive expansion without a solid future plan sealed their fate. The hit from internet piracy was the final nail in the coffin. The lesson? Adapt or become a nostalgic oldie. Following this, in 2020, Tower Records announced its return as an online retailer with plans for future physical stores. Meanwhile, Tower Records in Japan continues to operate independently. But even in our digital age, nothing beats the personal, Hey, have you heard this one? Will they make a successful comeback? Only time will tell. Until then, thanks for joining, and see you soon with another business tale.